Hello, everybody, and welcome. Let's get the energy a little bit more because the topic is fashion and we are talking style, and we have an extremely chatty panel. And I have the duty to make sure that everyone speaks and everyone gets that spotlight. So, I'm Esha Nagar, founder and CEO of Pegboard, and I work at the cusp of data and creativity. It's a strategy firm. And with us, we have a great mix of fashion brands, skincare brands. We also have a bag brand and accessories, I would say, not really bags. So we have a little bit of a shebang happening in terms of lifestyle. And आज का जो overall मुद्दा है about what we will discuss in the next 45 minutes is going to be around how when the world is going on ये दिल मांगे more kind of energy, social media हमें बहुत सी चीज़ें दिखा रहा है and we just want a whole lot more when it comes to what we are wearing, what we are using, and what we are consuming. How are the brands managing that speed with creativity? What is their process? And how are the homegrown brands that we have today in our panel really going for it? So I'm going to open the panel with discussing that tension between creativity, speed, and design. And let's go one by one on your opening pieces on how are you really bridging the gap between design and speed. We'll begin with you, Shelly, and you can please take on skincare from a product perspective, if not design. Yeah?
So let me give a very brief intro on Fixerma.
Yeah.
So we are a skincare brand, a 15-year-old brand. We started in 2010, and our journey is more from clinic to consumer. Like nowadays, people are moving from e-com online to offline. We are from offline to online, a different journey.
Yeah.
So we onboarded like in 2020 marketplaces. Before we were selling through dermats, reaching out to dermatologists, and they prescribe our products, and that's how you get them. Talking about design and
Speed.
yeah,
Yes.
of course you have to match the speed. But we were doing that, I'll say a year back, trying to match with the speed, trying to match with the trends, and bringing out new products. We were, I'll say also, you can say, FOMO ka shikar ho
FOMO
gaye
का शिकार हो गए थे.
शिकार हो
Yes.
गए थे. But if you look at your numbers and if you look at your products, you have to sit down and see, बिकता वही है जो आप पहले से बेच रहे थे. तो ये
Product.
जो नए नए आप
Yeah.
ये गुलाबी नीले पीले लेके आते रहते हो with different fragrances, वो बिकता नहीं है, कुछ टाइम के लिए बिकता है and stops then. So how I was actually discussing with this other panelist also कि आप कितना भागोगे उसके पीछे. So it's better you stick to your core values, your core brand, the products you are selling, and try to make it a bigger size.
Yeah.
उसको 100 करोड़ का ब्रांड बनाओ यार एक प्रोडक्ट को उठाकर. So then you will stay, you will reach out to more people. Branding becomes much easier
This
also.
thing built for scale, not
And
for
you know
that moment.
everything's fall in place once you start learning it and doing it.
Yeah.
कभी कभी उसको सीखने में टाइम लगता है, but आ जाता है. I mean, takes time. कि अगर आप उसको build कर लोगे, then organic sales भी आएगी, your supply chain gets easier, your raw material, your packaging, everything falls in place because वो आप जो आपका वो particular brand का numbers ज़्यादा है, you can keep it in, like, you can plan accordingly.
Yeah,
But
built
अगर if you
right.
are running behind styles design, maybe my category is different, maybe it doesn't apply to fashion, but I think you can do it. You have to decide a percentage, maybe 10%, 15, 20%, that's it. But you should not run behind it.
Behind it, yeah. Udita, over to you on that. We also have very different kind of fashion brands here, like True Browns and Indo Era, very different propositions, right? What about your journey?
Sure. So I agree with her.
Shelly. Yeah.
I know. So I agree with her. There, आपका जो true core product है, that I believe has the data tells you that वो आपका हमेशा bestseller रहता है. Today, like we have something that we launched 5 years back,
Yeah.
is still our bestseller. Every time we get it back, it still just tops the charts. So clearly, जहाँ से brand build होना start हुआ और जो customers ने पहले पसंद किया, I mean that is something that has to we have to keep holding on to it. And in fashion, in our industry, we call it core. So we see our design in two ways, core and non-core. The key has to be to stick to a very agile, to a very fast supply chain for your core codes. So that is one way that we ensure that We are reaching out to new customer base. We know the ROI of our best sellers will have a great return. They'll have good conversions. An agile supply chain helps reaching those new customers faster.
Yes.
So that's one way of when we talk about speed to our customers. And when we talk about जो ये एक खींचातानी है between creativity, speed,
yeah.
ये आ गया नया, and how do we get it into our range? See, I'll not deny in fashion, it can get monotonous, right? If you have the same thing coming from the brand again and again, you might just move to another brand. And I being like, I wear True Browns most of the time, and I should, right? If I start feeling that fatigue, and it's a great thing, right? अगर मैंने 1.5 साल पहले अपनी टीम को कहा, we have to change, otherwise fatigue will come. It's
Yeah.
a great learning. It's a
great
great way
learning.
to just
Yeah.
like amp up your product. So we do that. We look at, for us, socials tell us the most what's going to come in. You follow the right pages, the right people, have the right eye, you know what's going to come in, and put that into your line. It might not be like 80% of your range, but maybe a 20% drop.
Fair.
But that just bridges the gap between what's going to come, what consumers might just like. The moment something has a good rate of sale, we double up or triple, or just go
So you take
deeper into
decisions
it.
on your core and non-core basis.
Absolutely.
This
So
a lot.
So it's core and fashion,
Yeah.
how we call it, and the right mix between the both, having the right supply chain for both is how
you're
we work on. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Mohit, for you at Miragio, it was a new category creation, right? We were talking about the new luxury segment. How has speed for cracking a new segment in a very price competitive and price sensitive market really worked for you?
No, so I think the gap why we started was also the same. It was very monotonous as a market. It was only like commodity-based products that you were getting in Indian market, whereas apparels we were seeing a lot of frequent buying, but in bags I was not seeing, and there was no large brand that was created, and that actually was a starting point for us. At Miragio, we do things a bit differently. We have a very drop culture. We drop culture. Yeah.
The drop culture.
Yeah. So we do drops probably 2 times or 3 times
Yeah.
a month, and probably in it could be large collection, it could be small collection. We don't go by seasons. A lot of brands in India go by seasons, 4 seasons, 3 seasons. But India में कोई season buying करता नहीं है. Most of the buying ऐसा नहीं होता कि सर्दी में लाल कलर नहीं लूँगा या गर्मी. So it's very foreign as a concept, but
Yes.
it doesn't apply to the buying, because a lot of Indian women buys bag कि मेरा 10 outfit पे चलेगा ही नहीं चलेगा. So I think we go very granular. So I think that gives us leverage to try new things. So speed gets captured there. And then we of course plan very well in advance. You have to keep an eye on social chatter that's happening. It could be international influencers, Indian influencers, even Myntra trends, Myntra searches, Amazon searches, Google searches. For example, we're seeing a lot of backpacks coming in trend now,
Yeah.
right? A lot of gym bags coming in trend now. All of a sudden nightclubs are no longer
No
a cool,
longer the cool
right?
ones.
But health is a cool thing. So you have to be on top of these things to match the speed. So I think planning, manufacturing, and then distribution and logistics, all of these needs to go hand in hand to solve this speed and the design, and none of the things have to be compromised in my view.
Yeah.
Because अगर design compromise कर दिया तो आप brand नहीं बनेगा, अगर speed compromise कर दिया तो brand नहीं बनेगा. So on the logistics side of things, how we do it is regional warehouses. So we have warehouse now in Bangalore, we have warehouse in now Mumbai. So you have to bring in tech softwares to ensure that the right allocation of inventory is happening in these warehouses, and maybe partner with marketplaces to pick up the fulfillment through their own warehouses. So the speed matches.
Speed
there.
is at the distribution level, not
Absolutely.
at the design level, is what you're saying.
No, again, see, it has to be in all levels. Manufacturing level also. Now, how quickly our manufacturing is in China. So now
Yeah.
I'm thinking to build a team in China because the raw material is there, the design is there. I'm thinking to move my design team to China because from here designing is taking about 20-25 days. Can I make that design in 7 days within the factory in China?
Fair.
So it's a combination of all the things, not just कि distribution Zepto पे आपने माल रख दिया तो अब सब
तो हो
solve हो
जाएगा,
जाएगा.
yeah.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा. So I think it's a combination of all these 3-4 things that you need to work on depending on business to business. There is no, I can't say you follow the rules that we have followed. It depends on आपका manufacturing क्या है, आपका proposition क्या है, आपको brand कैसे build करना है. So I think it differs from
But for
brand to
Miragio,
brand.
the limited exclusive drops have worked. by keeping the
Absolutely.
pace at the ground.
Absolutely. And I think on adding on your point also, right, for us also core, non-core. But I think
Yeah.
when the brand is in the beginning of its journey for 3, 4, 5 years, core बनता जाता है.
Core बनता जाता
अब कल एक नया कलेक्शन लॉन्च हुआ उसमें से हमें 2 बॉडी मिल गया बोले एक core है. तो core is ongoing exercise for 5, 7 years. So the more faster you launch, the more faster you find failures and winners,
Fair.
and the core business gets built.
Yeah. We'll come back to the core and the brand. I'll take Shrishti's input on. So for Indo Era, the journey has been starting with very like 120 or 100 SKUs and then scaling into some 4,000, 5,000 designs on a very frequent scale, right? How has the journey been for Indo?
So for us, it was very clear that we are here for customers,
Yeah.
and especially Indian customers. So we understood what they are looking forward for, because a woman who's going for a work is doing couple of things at her life. You know, she's waking up, she's working in the house, she's getting kids ready, she's making them to go to school, then going out with friends. If she's in metro, then she is getting into some get-togethers, and then finally in the end, in the night after the dinner, she gets the chance to change. So for her journey, it is very important that what she's wearing should be comfortable, plus stylish, plus suitable for all the occasions. She cannot be wearing one particular thing for a long run, and it might not be suitable for one of the event. And this was the industry's major gap which we tried to fill out. Because we thought there is no brand which was serving this purpose of, being with the customer, being with that woman throughout the day. And that's how we were born. And for us, obviously the speed, the fast fashion is very important, because the customer is looking into a lot of things, and especially into digital world, they get a lot of exposure, what others are wearing, how they are wearing, and she still wants to be smart, but still wants to be covered up from top to toe. So we create designs according to their needs, and we launch around 200 designs every month. Obviously, our TG is different. We are serving to the bigger base, and we have done like more than 45,000 pin codes till
codes,
date.
yeah.
So for us, the market is huge, and we have to be on toes, being very true. Apparently, for us, the core becomes the seasons, which is like, okay, this season is there, so we have to have this core styles, but those are not core in terms of a basic fashion. We are totally into fashion and trends, and this is how we have taken the brand forward. Talking about the speed of the production timeline, how we have got it. So now, with the help of AI, we are
AI
even
came
trying.
in our conversation very quickly.
Yeah. So we got into like 21 days of manufacturing cycle, from design to production. And that's how the industry is working, and that's how we are also coping up with the industry to be the fastest growing brand in India.
Okay. Like we brought in AI, I'm going to bring in brand loyalty. The very abused word at this point. But I always wonder, given brand custodians, or even like for me as a marketing firm, brand se farak padta hai. I'm going to bring two of you first in this conversation. I'll bring you, Udita and Srishti, because you're catering to women fashion. It's hella cluttered. So what is brand loyalty here? And please, Shelly and Mohit, please feel free to jump in. But let's take it from both of them. You want to begin, Udita or Srishti? Yeah. Like, is it important to build one?
I mean, it's not even a question. I think
Ha.
it is really, really important. Otherwise, as we were discussing back in the
That's
room.
why I changed the cue of our panel discussion. See? Yeah. So,
See, I mean, what I was saying, we're not making rockets here. It's not rocket science. Anyone can copy the product tomorrow, right? It's not a patented patent or any kind of copyright. So, so the brand story as to why we are doing what we are doing, what's happening behind the brand, who are the people building the brand is very, very important. And that
Sure.
is something which consumers today, and this is what also I feel that over the last 2-3 years, there's a very clear shift in terms of consumers' curiosity towards how did the brand come up, why it happened. And sticking to what led to the origin of the brand, what is the brand ethos, who are you talking to, who is this consumer, and you consistently keep talking to the consumer, they start loving the brand for the kind of not just the product that you're selling, but the kind of thought the brand has.
Yeah.
And I think उससे ऊपर जीत तो है ही नहीं
है ही
आपकी,
नहीं,
right?
yeah.
क्योंकि उसके बाद आपके पास 5 white kurta sets हैं, but which one would you buy for is something like this with this brand I'll enjoy the
Yeah.
conversation. And I think that's brand building.
Yeah.
And the biggest part of, otherwise otherwise you're selling a product, right? It's just like there's no community around it.
community around it.
So one of the biggest things about a brand is that you end up building a community that sticks by you through your different phases.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel about brand building.
Fair. So community is the big word, is what it
Very,
you
very
said.
important. Like,
Yeah.
what is brand? It's the community that you've built.
If you are able to get that one tribe out,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So if you're doing something and someone out there in the customer base feels for it, that is what a brand is.
yeah, I think we got that. Srishti?
So I totally agree with Udita, and especially for us, in few days back, somebody asked me that what was your marketing that you were doing, and for us, initially 300 CR was like a zero marketing thing for us, and that all came through that organic pull where customers realize that a brand is there and they want to buy this particular brand. And especially I would add something which is very close to my heart, where at Amazon, it's not a browse platform, it's all search based platform. So our brand has the keyword always in top 5 if somebody searching something related to ethnic wear. And a lot of times Amazon ad teams comes and tells that how do you bring that pull, and that's all organic. Customers have bought us, they know us, they understand we are there for them for all the occasions, and they resonate with the brand's aura and aesthetic that we bring to the audience, and they actually get into the understanding of, okay, why Indo-era, why not somebody else? Because the market is so cluttered, and especially it's highly unorganized, dominated, and people, there is no logo, nothing, but still having a repeat or loyal purchase by 55% is something that we have achieved, and that's all because the community that we led and the proposition of thought process that we brought into the women's life is something I believe all the brands want to do that, and that's how we really feel
There's
about.
clutter, but there's room to still create a niche, is what we're saying for a brand.
Just
You
one
want to add
point
in,
to it.
yeah,
Just
Udita.
last one point to
Yes.
it. Everything fails if the product is not good.
Yeah, I was just
No
coming to
amount
share
of brand
for that.
building is going
Yes.
to work if your product is
क्योंकि
not
उन्होंने बोला
good.
कि जो बिकेगा वही बिकता
जो
है,
हाँ,
right?
मतलब product
Yeah.
has to be right, pricing has to be right. So
That's still the hero, like that's established. Shelly, I was just coming to you on this, that you strongly said that the product, and for your category, trust really matters, right?
Yes,
It's not that you can play around with your skincare routines, and you're also expanding into global market. You have been expanding into countries after countries. What has worked, even though product is the hero, but still जो दिखता है वो फिर भी बिकता है. So from a marketing perspective, what has really worked for you for the local to global story in this category in particular?
I think the first you asked this question to them about chaos and clutter.
Clutter,
So वो
yes.
तो ask
आपकी
me.
category में तो
My
मतलब,
goodness,
yeah.
like if you go to a social gathering, अगर किसी से लड़ भी जाओगे तो वो पता चलेगा एक स्किन केयर ब्रांड शुरू करने वाला है. So the clutter is crazy in our category, of course, but to be very fortunate, like we started our journey through Dermats, and I remember when we moved online, and online grew like anything, it was a crazy growth there. So we always felt यार online ही बेचते इससे तो अच्छा यहाँ वैसे ही शुरू करते, क्योंकि this derma thing तो was the wall, I mean, the entry barrier is very high.
Very high,
If
yeah.
you think of going to a dermat, because each and every dermat is apne aap mein ek marketplace hai, you know, because you have to convince them to buy your product and also it's a long journey.
Yeah.
This growth is slow, but then the repeat, the loyalty, spends, and of course profitability is very high in that channel. So I was always, but now I think it was a good way we started. So from clinic to consumer, the trust was already there
Already
in
there.
the market. We had some organic pull. So, and the brand was already known to many people who were reaching out to dermats. So, and it's a process, you know, brand building is a process. So you keep pulling all the strings from all the ways, like, you know, whatever you can do best, maybe social media, your personal branding. The product, of course, is the top priority. It has to be the hero. Product comes first, then comes everything. I totally believe that.
Yeah.
Because the product has to speak. Otherwise, कुछ भी कर
Can't
लो,
faff around.
नहीं,
Yeah.
नहीं, नहीं. You know, no fluff is going to work.
Yeah, no fluff is going to
Yeah,
work.
so I still believe that, and I think brand is product, and you have to work in all the directions right now, because
Fair.
earlier it was ATL, BTL, TV ad kar liya, but now to everything you have to do to build the brand.
Yeah, right from your founder.
Yeah, because
Everything
yeah,
is part of the brand
right.
now.
So we have started our retail journey also 2 years back, and Indian retail is not easy. It's a huge market out there. So we are already at around 40-50,000 POS, but it's so you have to do everything for brand building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mohit, you've been quiet and I'm going to come back to you. For Miragio in particular, we've talked about the price competitiveness, product, brand. Aspirations के बारे में बताओ India के, because you are trying to crack somewhere between a massy and a premium luxury semi thing, right? So how is the luxury market looking from a homegrown scale?
I think audience, thanks to Geo, internet penetration is increasing in tier 2, tier 3 cities. It's so you're seeing the same celebrities, same influencers that tier 1 people are seeing. So it's no longer a difference now. And everybody wants to look good today. Everybody wants to look good, and they're becoming conscious buyer. They're looking, especially Gen Zs, they're looking for. It's not कि LV लिख दिया है तो 1
तो
लाख
हो
रुपया
गया.
मांग लो और हो जाएगा. No, so they're actually looking for more. They're looking. That's why founder-led brands, founder stories, and then there is creative storytelling, where the brand originates from, sustainability. A lot of these fancy words have come in, and where all somebody is playing on founder-led personality, somebody is playing on sustainability.
The
somebody-
buzzwords.
Yeah, but I think this is working out. These are all working out, right? So, but so I think that's how the consumer perception is changing. So people are getting experimental, and if there is a great product, if there is value for money, and in fact, it's not just about bags. Any category at this point in time, India is on a rise. India is actually getting aspirational from as tier 1 to tier 3. Even tier 4, and we get orders for 4,000-5,000 rupees from the cities that I've never heard of. It surprises me sometimes that people have paying capacity in like cities in somewhere in Bihar, or you never heard of it, right? So I think India is on the rise, and anything mass premium, has a potential in India. There is a fan brand. उन्होंने एक अच्छा fan बनाया, एक बिजली को बचाया, and then they had a remote and sleek design. Usha fans 1,500 रुपए का छोड़ के people have started paying 4,000 rupees, right? 5,000 rupees. So it's a sorry.
Atom, yeah.
So I think there are many examples like these, right? Many examples like these. So I think it is changing across the domain.
But do you think, I'm going to cut you there, but bringing a perspective, do you think that as like Indian, like the cohort, do you think Indians in general would believe a global brand more than a local homegrown story? I'm bringing that because it's very relevant.
They
luxury,
used to.
right?
They used to, but it's
Is it
changing
changing?
now. It's
You all think so?
absolutely changing. 100%. Because I think Indian businesses are also changing. They are also realizing and understanding the pulse of Indian consumer, what inspires them. For us also, right? The biggest challenge was कि यार मिराजियो को लोग उतना इज्जत करेंगे क्या जो ऑल्डो को करते हैं. So that was a question that we always used to ask, and we still ask, right? And but what is that difference? That why would they value them more? Is this something that you need to work upon? So the kind of people that Miragio, the kind of people that carries Miragio, the kind of social media you have, the kind of creative content you have, the kind of events, offline activations, offline in-store experience you're doing, the kind of services, global design aesthetics, all of these together, put together, customer service, right? All of this put together will help you build that. So I think
It is
it's
changing is what you're saying.
absolutely.
Yeah. Does
Absolutely.
anyone have a different opinion on the
So just
panel today?
one interesting thing,
Yeah.
like highest number of Rakhis were sold in Bihar through Blinkit. Crazy numbers in millions, it was like. So India is always surprises,
It
in
surprises
terms of
everywhere.
market, in terms of markets, yeah.
Okay. You talked about sustainability. I'm going to talk about that. Yay or nay? Like, does it? Can you sell in India on the basis of sustainability? Can you be truly sustainable?
Big no.
No,
Not
no.
for
Usko
10
thoda,
years.
like,
Not for 10 years.
You
It's a
can't
fan-
just use that word.
It's a fancy word right
Huh.
now, but
10,
it's
I think
expensive
50
to
years.
it's expensive to pay for.
Scale is tough, is what you're saying.
It's an abused
No,
word.
no, it's also very. I mean, sustainability right now. I mean, we have banana leather, right?
Hanji.
We have apple leather, but it comes at a cost which Indian consumer is not ready to pay.
Yeah, of course.
They are वो 4,000 रुपए का बैग खरीदने से पहले 4 बार सोच रहे हैं तो वो 8-10,000. It's fancy to talk on social media and be a part of this.
The movement, you can be part of it.
Yes, but it's very far away. I feel.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean,
Udita, yeah.
one is that you make a product sustainable, but there also, when we talk about sustainability, it's about what kind of processes that are there in the company
Yeah,
that
the company can
you
build
know,
it. Yes.
like for us, for example, वो हम जो बोलते हैं कतरन बोलते हैं, right? हमारा जो fabric कट कतरन बन जाता है.
Noted. Time's
yeah,
up. We're
time
gonna write,
noted.
yeah. Yeah.
So we try and use the leftovers in different ways. Like either we'll make bags in which is being used at the retail store, or we're going to make scarves or masks भी बनाए हुए हैं. So something or the other we keep doing, at least to consciously build a company which is moving towards sustainability, or we don't use the word sustainable as much, we say conscious fashion.
Conscious fashion,
That's
yeah.
what we use. And I mean, I strongly feel, and the team at True Brown strongly feel, that there are a lot of ways in which we can be consciously making a product and
Yeah.
giving that to
Fair.
the customer. That's what we definitely follow.
Yeah.
If not 100% sustainable
So, yeah,
product, but
yeah.
definitely consciously made product for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I think same applies to clean beauty also. Like hardly
In a
there is
very similar
hardly there's any clean
Yeah.
beauty. So it can be easily cut, copied, pasted everywhere. If she calls her sustainable, another brand will also tomorrow. In fact, in another 10 minutes, will start calling them sustainable.
And there is no more sustainable.
And there is no
There is
more
no more
sustainable.
Also like drop culture, right? So we don't overproduce. So that's also another way
part
of
of
being
sustainability,
consciously
yes.
being sustainable in
Yeah.
some form.
Srishti, you have a view?
So for us, like what we believe that rather than the product, the communication should be clear, okay, that how the product is being made, why this design came into the scenario, why we are not overproducing, how he mentioned, and especially being in the industry where you talk about fast fashion versus sustainability,
It's a
sometimes
big, yeah.
yeah, and especially people in India currently doesn't have the clarity of the definition.
Yeah.
Fair.
Actually, the communication is not clearly given, or education is not there in the customer. So once that is there, obviously the brands will speak
But
louder.
we're not there yet.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, so I think we're going to close our panel with a very interesting question. I'll just take like a round here. We talked about loyalty, sustainability. जो हमारे agenda में था वो हमने सब cover कर लिया. The closing thing would be, I'd love to ask this question for everybody. If there was one song that sort of denoted your brand, anyone who wants to go for it, a song, celebrity, any mascot, very quickly. We're talking brand, guys. So,
Very difficult to think about.
okay,
a
Mohit, you're
song.
going for it.
Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner, okay. And Miraggio. Okay, we'll take that. Anybody else who wants to talk about True Brown's Indo or you fixed Dharma? Shelly?
So we already have the celebs with us. It's
So you can't. So you definitely can't. You shouldn't. Okay, I think we'll call it a close. Do you want to add anything, Udita? Same? Okay. So this was a fantastic panel. Thank you for all the
Thank you
views
so
that
much,
Thank
yeah.
you.